Virgo.
Hello Virgo, this is your January 2017 forecast astrologically, and I love the way the month starts out here for you because you got this Neptune, which is in your 7th house, has been for a long time, right? Mars is right here and it's conjuncting it, meaning that you're starting off January with hopes and dreams and visions and actions and whatnot. If you're in an existing relationship, this might just be a fantastic New Year's celebration. Some of you might even find yourself getting married right now, or proposed to, or proposing to somebody. But it's also the infusion of Neptune, which activates our ability to visualize, to have our hopes, dreams, and our spiritual energy, our creativity. Mars meets up with Neptune only once every 2 years. So this is your shot at it now, Virgo, to really be romantic or to create some good partnerships. And in that case, since Neptune is involved, we always just want to read the fine print too, because sometimes if something feels too good to be true, well, then maybe that is so. But it depends on what you have in your natal chart, your birth chart, to see whether you have great aspects coming up to this or if it is being challenged, right? But it's a beautiful place since it's the area of relationships. Your passion may be running really nice and strong here. Venus is in the sign of Aquarius, and already January 4th, she will be adding to the party of Mars and Neptune for the rest of the month. And so again, more love, more passion, more joy, more interaction with your partner, or finding that special other person if you are single. It's not a time for you to sit at home expecting somebody to knock on your door. If you're looking for Mr. or Mrs. Right, you want to be out and about. You want to see where you can come to meet a certain special soulmate, or also twin flame. When we have Mars and Neptune and Venus together, well, that is the signature of soulmate relationships. So wonderful, beautiful month for you. And to make it that much better here, Virgo, I'd like to say the main focus here is always where the sun is. The sun is the essence of you and me, all of us. It's how we radiate our energy. And this month, it is in your 5th house for love and romance. The 5th and 7th house both has to do with love. Now, Mercury is retrograde in this area of the 5th house until January 8th. So, and you had that there in December too. So some of you might just be finding yourself working through certain maybe patterns or routines, or what didn't work, what did work, and of course those things that work, you will carry that onwards, right? And those things that you want to weed away, that's what Mercury's helping you to do. The 5th house also rules children. It rules our self-expression and so forth. So with the Sun and Mercury here, and they will both come to meet up with Pluto this month. And Pluto has been in this area for a long time now, and it's an annual meeting up, a joining or dance between these energies. So definitely your relationship is going to change up in January. Relationships with your children may change up, transform. You might find that your passions, your hobbies might take a new leap here because of the Plutonian energy, which is very transformative. More on that when we go through the calendar, so you'll know exactly when this is going to take place. The new moon is at the end of the month, 0 degrees in Aquarius. No, 0 degrees, yes, in Aquarius, I'm sorry. Which for you, Virgo, is going to be in your house, the 6th house. So that's empowering you. It takes place once a year. And of course, you're always so good about structuring and organizing your daily life and so forth. So this is where the inspiration is to plant your seeds, not just for the month, but also for the whole year until the new moon comes back to this area. and it rules co-workers as well, how you interact with work. It's not necessarily your career, that's the 10th house, but it's how you work on a daily basis. So any seeds that you plant here, make sure that you put a little time aside to focus on your intentions. It's also a health area. You might change up your diet, the way you work out, those kind of things. The full moon, 14 degrees in Cancer, will illuminate the stage that has to do with your hopes and dreams, but also friendships, groups and organizations. So on the 12th, you might find yourself being a midpoint here, under the floodlight in either a group of friends, or however it is, it's social media, or you could feel that something you've been hoping or wishing for might just now manifest. So 12th is a beautiful day as well. So listen, we are looking at top of the month, January 1st, like I said, Mars, Neptune, relationships, engagements, marriages, celebrations. We're also starting off on a new journey while you are blessed. That is your 7th house. But then on January 3rd, we have good news coming in. Mercury, which is the messenger of news in beautiful relationship here with Venus, which at this point is just on the cusp between your 6th and 7th house. So this could be a great time for you and your partner to discuss the things that you'd like to do this coming year, but also here empowering the now. On the 7th, the Sun is meeting up with Pluto, and we mentioned that they do meet up once a year. 5th house for children, 5th house for relationships, 5th house for your self-expression, creativity, the business that you own. Pluto will transform the energy of where the Sun has been moving for a full year since last time they met up. So you'll feel a jolt of energy. Sometimes, let me tell you, this is interesting about Pluto. When the Sun or the Moon hits it by conjunction, we can have two experiences. Either that we have tons of energy that we can go out and move a mountain, and if we don't use the physical energy of this power, sometimes it implodes and we just want to sleep, right? But then Pluto is working more subconsciously, right? So we could just feel extremely tired and exhausted. Because why? Well, it's journeyed for a whole year, and we just need to recharge, but then watch what's taking place right afterwards. Talk about resurrection. On the 11th, Mars and Pluto will do the dance, and Mars being in your 7th house, your partner here, whether that's your significant other, but it could be a client, it could be somebody you work with, a broker or whatnot. Now with this Pluto, between the 5th and the 7th, again, we're looking at how relationships are going to be extremely important for you in January. You could really move a lot of energy and projects and whatnot because you're dedicated, you're focused. I mean, talk about X-ray vision on what it is you're working with. You're so at one with yourself. So I'm feeling the 11th is a day where you can accomplish not just a lot, but you might also be able to receive a lot too. On the 12th, mark that on your calendar as the date night of the month. Venus, love and romance, and Neptune here, they're coming together in a conjunction. Neptune is that higher octave of Venus, so together they're not just being romantic, but they're extremely creative. This is taking place in your 7th house. Mars has already been there, touched upon Neptune. Venus is coming in, following the steps that Mars cut out for you. So absolutely a date night. Candlelight dinner sounds good. But then we have a couple of dates this month where we need to be a little aware of. This is when Saturn comes in with a stop sign, right? It's like we're hammering down 60 miles an hour and suddenly here is a crosswalk and you've got to slow down to 15 miles and it's like Mars gets frustrated. It wants to move, right? Fast. But when Saturn slows us down, it's always for our higher good. So don't get frustrated. What it means is when it slows us down so quickly, it means don't act. Don't make a decision. If there's anything going on right now, it's not a good time to make that decision because you're full of doubt. Do I go this way or that way in my decision? So, like in the old sayings, they say, sleep on it. That is the best advice we can always bring with us. Whenever in doubt, then we know that, yes, well, we just got to hang in there a little bit, but you don't have to wait more than just a single day. Because already on the 20th, Pluto is coming in, giving you that sensation, that feeling of not just awareness, but feeling convinced. And that's when we want to act. We always want to have that full sense of conviction. Venus and Pluto in this sextile, it's between your 5th and 7th house, just like when Mars and Pluto was there. Again, I feel it has to do with how you're interacting with your partner or a partner. It doesn't have to be a love thing. It could be. But we're also looking at perhaps parenting and your children or a child, because the 5th house is in here. And so maybe you're needing to finalize some kind of decision of a direction of where to go, or money matters since Venus is involved. But you'll know what it is. But definitely a day where you're going to feel great. On the 23rd, there is good news coming in, which I feel is inspirational. This is Mercury and Neptune sextile. On the 27th is the second stop sign of the month. Now Venus is up against Saturn, just like Mars was on the 19th. So on the 27th, Mars has pretty much carved a path. You might know what this is all about, but now your emotions are tied in. Earlier it was your physical energy that you felt being stopped from heading out in any old direction. Now your emotions are in here. Money is coming up, and you're asked to make a decision again. Now it's not one day but 2 days before you will derive until that inspiration comes. That's when Mercury, which is the messenger and it is communication, will infuse the energy with Pluto. And Pluto is like X-ray energy. It will cut straight to the core of any matter. And right now it has to do with your mind. The way you think, the way you communicate, the information that's available to you. So you'll know. It's like everything is just aligned beautifully. So that's the 29th. We just had that new moon on the 27th. So that also prompted you now into this new direction. Mercury coming in with affirmation from Pluto. You're good to go. What a great month here, Virgo. So if you want to know where this new moon is planting seeds for you in your moon or rising chart, it will show other areas of where you can grow these new seeds. So that's why it's always nice to listen to it. But listen, I will see you there in February. So have a great month.